Hello, in this video we're going to discuss Book Creator, which is a way that you or your students can create online books. In creating these online books, you can add text, images, or drawings. It can be that you build them right within Book Creator, or it could be that you've built them elsewhere like in PowerPoint and upload them into Book Creator. You can then add voiceover to your slides if you like. You can also create the slides using text-to-speech, which is great for students who might have difficulty typing or are not able to actually write words yet, but are able to voice them. You can also have the book read text to speech. So this is great for students who might struggle with reading, and they can actually have the book read to them. You can then publish to your library for others to be able to view it. You can also allow students to join this same library via text code or QR code for them to be able to read the books that you've put within your library or to create their own books to be shared. So basically you could create one library and allow all the students to build within that library, and that means that the books would be shared among the entire class and anyone could read the books within that library. The possibilities with Book Creator are pretty much endless in terms of the teacher creating a book or the students creating the book. Some ideas include creating word problem books where a word problem is on one page and then you or the student use the drawing tool on subsequent pages to work out the problem. It might also be that you create a choose your own adventure book where you write a story with different plot lines within the book and you use hyperlinks to allow the student to pick which way they want to go with the book. You might also use it for vocabulary, where you take a picture of an object or make a video of an object using your phone or tablet, and then you import it and put it on a page with a text or audio explanation. You could also use the drawing feature to draw a picture of the diagram and then use text phrases to explain it. Again, make sure to use videos because you can import short videos of students reading their own text, explaining more about the topic, or of other clips from maybe YouTube or other places to help explain a topic. In addition, you can collaborate, so you can allow students to create a section of a book and then merge those files together to create a whole. Because within Book Creator, there is the merging of files option, so you could have each student build a piece of a book and then merge those all together into one whole. You could also teach the writing process. So instead of having students just write an essay, you could have them write certain components on certain pages to help them include all the necessary elements within their paper. So, for example, on a couple of pages, work on the introduction, develop the thesis statement, develop the hook, that kind of thing. Have a couple of pages where you work on the bodies, have a page where you work on the conclusion so that it's not overwhelming, it's built into separate pages. So again, these are just some ideas for using the Book Creator. Now let's jump into the demo. To begin, you want to sign up for Book Creator. Again, make sure you use the teacher sign up versus the student sign up. You can sign up with Google, Office, or just with any other email. After logging in, you'll notice that you have a default library that's called My Books, but it is private. You would also probably want to create a new library so that your students can add to that library. But before we go any further, let's look at the Resources tab here. So using the Resources tab, you can look at books created for different grade levels just by scrolling down, and you can see all the different books that have been created that have been coded as high school level. So again, some great inspiration. In addition, at the top of the headers is a book that's been created about how to use Book Creator for high school or for middle school or however. So you can read online, and this will give you great ideas of how to incorporate Book Creator into your activities. So again, just more of a professional development angle there. You can also look at resources by subject by selecting that subject. And again, there's going to be a professional development book here that you can read online of how to use Book Creator for that particular subject. So again, some great ideas. And then you can scroll down and actually see books that were created about this in that subject area using Book Creator. So here's an example of one where they've written out text and they've drawn images or even had an image and then put in an image on top of it, a drawn image on top of it to show the different anatomical structures. In addition, you can scroll down and look at other ways to use Book Creator. So, in addition to the ones that are within each subject area, you can look at these professional developed ones about how to use formative assessment, reading responses, 50 ways to use Book Creator in your classroom. So, again, lots of neat tools. Here's a great example of a book that uses video within their book creator. So they are using sight words. Again, this is for very young students. They've created this video and they've just embedded it into the slide to where you're able to see the student write and say the name of the book itself, the letter of itself, and it plays it right within there. And when you click on this play button, it actually has the student read this. So they're working on their sight words and reading. So again, this is a good use of the audio tool as well as the video embedding tool. So to begin, you want to go to your library and you want to create a new library for your class. You probably want to have all of these turned on to allow students to publish their own books, be able to read each other's books, edit their own books, as well as use the Google image search. So we're going to create that library and we're going to build all of our books within this library so that all of our books will be open to the students that have access to this library. So if students are going to be building their own books within the library, you might want to get this invite code for them to join, and they would just use this invite code to add themselves into the library. Another way to go about it if you don't feel confident in your students creating their own account and putting in the invite code is you can come up to the top and do QR logins, and you can actually give the names, you can input the names of your students, and you can choose to put them in whatever class that they go in, and it will generate a code for them so that you're able to print these QR codes that the student will be able to scan to be able to join that library. So again, maybe something a little bit more appropriate for younger students. From there, you're able to create your new book. So we'll choose new book at the top. You can choose whatever size you want to choose. Also notice you have two formats that you can choose from, just the regular book or a comic style book. So I'll choose a comic style book just for now, just so that you can see how it's set up. So to begin with, you'll pick the cover of your book. So you can choose up here in the top corner, you can choose different media to input. So import pictures, use your camera to take a picture, the drawing tool, which is pen, text, or record. For comics, you can choose the panels, the speech bubbles, the text, those different features as well. You can also add in shapes if you want to, which includes speech bubbles. So under the comics, I can choose panel, and maybe I want to have a one panel for now. And then I can come and choose media import, and I can use images, search images within Google. I can use maps. I can upload a file if I wanted to. I could use items for my Google Drive or embed items. So in this case, I could search a word that I'm looking for and select that as my background image for my book. I can shrink it up, move it around just like I would with any other text box. And then I can come and add text if I want to. When I'm adding text, I can choose the type of text that I want. Keep in mind that the comics has a little bit of a flair because of the nature of having a comments. I can type in my text, choose to bold. Also, I can link in, which is going to be a neat tool to use later on where you can actually link in web addresses, but you can use it to link to different pages in the text to kind of jump around to almost make a table of contents or to do that choose your own adventure style. But we won't use one for now. We're just going to include the text. And it will be displayed. I can fix it up how I want it. And it will be ready for us to put on the slide. Notice that I can change up this image if I want to by choosing the I button, and it will allow me to center it if I want to. I can change the colors if I want to increase the size, change the font, add a background to it. All of these different elements I can do to edit my text. While I'm here using this eye feature, I can also edit my page. So I can add backgrounds to my page if I like, be them colors, paper, which might work great if you're doing musical lessons or math lessons, patterns, textures, what have you, when we are creating our book. Next, we simply move to the next page. It'll give us a blank page. We can choose our panels. We can choose our background. And we can choose our images. In order to make the images fit the panels, you can double click on them and then choose to select a file. You can then choose to size it based upon what is needed for the panel itself. Notice that in addition to grabbing images from the web, I could also choose the camera icon and it would allow me to take a picture of myself to be put into the book. So again, this might be a great tool to add an author or to incorporate different images, especially when using an iPad. They could take images around the classroom or around the school to include in their book. Next, you can add in text again, or you could include a speech bubble or a thought bubble, or even a sticker. As you add in text, notice that the students can type in text, but they can also use the recording tool to voice record to create their own text, living or non-living. And it would create that text for them, which is great for students who might struggle with typing or who perhaps don't have a keyboard. Again, this text can be edited by choosing the eye, and then you can increase that font, you can center it, you can change the color, do what you would like. In addition to adding text, you can add voiceover. So you'll choose this plus icon, media, and then use record. Then you choose start recording to record a snippet for the video. Seagulls are living animals. I'm then given a little speech bubble, and then I can put it right where it needs to go on my video. I can include more than one if I like. Sand on the beach is not living. Students can also use the draw tool or the pen tool to draw or write. This might be useful for drawing, but it might be particularly useful when diagramming or completing math problems. Students can also embed videos from YouTube into their book. To do so, they would need to go out to YouTube and find the video that they would like to include. They would then need to select that video and choose to share and embed. They would then need to copy that embed code and then choose to import and embed. They would then paste in that embed code to confirm the web link and then place it where they would like to within their book. You can also import your own videos by either putting your videos on YouTube using the import tool and then using the embed tool to embed your own videos, or you could connect to your drive and then pull in videos straight from your drive. For example, this is a video that I made and posted on YouTube, and then I can just add it into my book as a part of the lesson. Remember that you can add text to anything on the page by using the shapes and the speech bubble icons. Remember that the pen tool can be used for a variety of reasons, but it might be used appropriately in math as you work out a problem on one slide and then continue to add to that problem through other slides. As you work out the problem in the slides, you might choose to add audio to record to explain why you are completing those steps. If we add 3 to 4, then we get 7. This would be a great way to help students work through the problem as they watch the video. If needed, you can look at the pages to see what they all look like and reorder them if necessary. When you're finished, go back to My Books, and you should be able to publish it online. Once your book is published, you'll notice that it will be available in your class library. Students will then be able to select the book and then read it and view it. If there are any audio, they can choose to play the audio to hear it. If there is video, they can choose to play the video. When working out the math problems, they'll be able to move through the pages to see the problem progress. If the student struggles with reading, they can choose Read to Me feature, which will allow the computer to read to them all of the text-based words. Remember that you want to give students access to your library so that they will be able to place their own books that they create within the library and be able to view the other books that are in the library.